Hello, everyone. So I have notes because I am autistic, and I will serve you better if I have notes. Let's see. So before we get started, I just want to say everyone is welcome. I'm really, really glad you're all here. I want you to feel like it's okay to be your authentic self. So if you need to move around, stim, take a step outside, go to the bathroom, caffeinate. I hope you're all caffeinated. I am not caffeinated enough this morning. Please do what you need to do to feel comfortable. I also want to say that I'm going to talk a little bit about my lived experience, and that includes things surrounding mental health. So please make sure to reach out to anyone for support if you need to, if anything that I talk about today does bring up any feelings for you. I'll also be around at the end as well if you'd like to connect one-on-one and have a bit of a chat. So anytime I go anywhere to talk, I always like to ask this question before I start. When you dream of the future you want to see, what does it look like? Do you see yourself in a corner office, maybe running your own business, creating something that changes the world? Or maybe you have absolutely no idea, and that's completely fine too. For as long as I can remember, I've had this all-encompassing sense of empathy. At 9 years old, I started an endangered animals club, where I got to info dump about my special interests to my peers during lunchtime, which I loved. Didn't know I was autistic then. The signs were there. Even then, I had a really deep sense of injustice. I didn't see just the problems, but I really felt them. And I couldn't understand why other people didn't. At 14 years old, I was rushed to Ninewells Hospital in Dundee, where I'm from, if you can't hear the Scottish accent. My blood sugar levels were so low that I was in danger of slipping into a coma. In the children's ward, they told me I was only just low weight enough to make the cut for an anorexia diagnosis. I hadn't eaten any solid food in 4 weeks. When I was well enough, I campaigned to have the BMI restriction removed from the anorexia diagnosis so that no other people had to be told that they were only just sick enough to receive support. I wish I could tell you that things got easier from there, but the world still very much felt like an uphill trudge through quicksand. I wasn't sure if I would ever find happiness, but I really hoped that he could. I might get emotional, by the way, so I'm quite an emotional person. My brother Sam is my favorite person in the world. He was diagnosed as neurodivergent as a child and really struggled through the school system that saw him at best as a distraction and at worst as something to be completely removed from the system. But I saw his brilliance. I knew that minds like his would be the ones to one day solve all the complex challenges in the world. So I found my place in changing the world by changing the world for him, so that he and kids like him could make the world better for everyone. I was in a state of chronic suicide ideation until I received my autism and ADHD diagnosis at 26. It was physically painful to exist for such a long time that I really had given up hope on ever finding happiness. I used to wish every day at 11:11 on every shooting star and every birthday candle that I would one day be happy. But when things got dark and when it felt really hard to breathe, I thought of all the kids like my brother, kids facing unnecessary, unacceptable, and unjustified hardship, not because there was anything wrong with them, but because the world hadn't made a space for them to thrive. Future Tech became my reason to stay. At first, it was just something to hold on to, a way to keep moving forward, but then my wish came true. Now, Future Tech is my reason to stay happy, because I need to show these incredible young people that it is possible, and that if they just trust us to hold their hands through the hard times, that their wishes can come true too. So, why am I telling you all of this? Because I know what it's like to feel lost, to feel like you're chasing achievement and chasing goals and just never feeling good enough. And I know what it's like to finally let go of all of that and find your place in the world in doing something that really, really brings you joy. Because what you do with your life will become your life. Your career is not just about making money or filling a role, it's about meaning. Your career is much more than a job, a salary, or a title. If you chase these things alone, you'll never find fulfillment. Next page. Let's see. Apologies. This is me with penguins at Sea Life Sydney. FYI, I love penguins, like a lot. I don't know if you can see on my face there, but like this was the most joyous day I've ever had. Getting my autism and ADHD diagnosis changed everything, not because it gave me an easy path forward, but because it gave me a framework to be able to support myself. And a bit of reasoning why I struggled so much and what I could do about it. Forced me to rethink pretty much everything. What if success wasn't about achievement? What if it was about alignment? What if meaningful life wasn't about having a rigid plan, which I am autistic, so we like plans, but just following my curiosity instead. I wanted to change the world, and when I realized I couldn't change all of it, I nearly gave up. I felt like drowning, fighting for air, fighting for peace, until exhaustion almost took over me. Truth is, though, you don't have to have it all figured out to make a difference. One of the hardest lessons I learned was that clarity does not come from overthinking. It comes from taking action. But the voices around us, the people that we surround ourselves with, really, really impact the things you believe in yourself, the ways that you believe in yourself. Apologies, words. Okay, so I wanted to give you some practical takeaways because I do like my top tips. These are two of my incredible mentors at Future Tech, who I adore. Experiment. I actually like to treat my life like a big experiment. It makes it really good fun. So you just test something out, see how it works. If it doesn't work out, you're like, okay, what did I learn from this? We do it all the time at Future Tech because the kids that we support change on a weekly basis, and just because you did something one week and it worked does not mean that it's going to work again, because maybe it's raining outside or they slept terribly. Alignment, it's very, very important. I think that living a values-driven life is a lot more fulfilling than living a goal-directed life, because we can sometimes or sometimes not achieve goals. But if we're always operating in a way that aligns to what we care about and what we think is important, then we're always achieving. That's something that I found really, really important for me. This is a hard one. You have to get comfortable with discomfort. Life will throw you spanners. I think I used that metaphor correctly. And you just sometimes have to be able to roll with the punches. It's not necessarily about where you get to, it's about how long you can stay standing for. Finally, find your people. This is should have been number one, really. So this is just part of our team at Future Tech. But the people that you surround yourself with either lift you up or hold you back. It's really, really important that you value yourself enough to surround yourself with people who believe in you. You deserve that. Okay, so that dream you had of the future, how can you contribute to making that happen? How will you change the world? I live by Steve Jobs' quote. I love it. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I have it written up on my wall in my home office, and I just love it because you do have to be a little bit mad to try and change the world. So your future isn't something you should or could possibly have all figured out today. But the choices you make today, the experiments you try, the people you surround yourself, and the values you follow will shape where you end up. I'm not exceptional or special. I've just been really fortunate to find the tools and strategies and support networks to help me to thrive. And while we don't all start off with the same resources, that's too far, we can seek out what we need from others and carve out our own journeys and try and create some opportunities for each other along the way. So I say just take one step at a time and stay curious and trust yourself, and the pieces will eventually come together. If you would like to connect with me, I would love to connect with you all. This is my LinkedIn that you can scan with your phones. And thank you so much.